So I've been thinking about something, and I'm trying to figure out how to capture the feeling of it. That's kind of like what artists do and what people do is they just kind of like have a feeling and they like to recapture it. Sometimes they take a picture, sometimes they paint something, sometimes they put it in song. So, like there's various ways. The storytelling, you can tell it just like, oh, I remember this story, and you just kind of say it that way. But there's something about the idea of the time behind us being more special than the time that is present or the time in the future. And I'm always trying to figure out why there's such this hold on nostalgia. Even like people that try to sell you things, they're just they're banking on this idea of the old, this nostalgia, this already built system within your brain and your heart that you have a reaction to that they can sell you because they know they already have that link there instead of creating a different property. And it's just this idea of the old having so much value. And I'm wondering almost in the sense of why you can't return to the past. That increases the value as well. It's lost time essentially. Whereas the future is unknown, and the present you can do whatever you want right now essentially. Like it's touchable, it's tangible in a way. Whereas the past is not, which makes it even more like sacred in a way. No one can take back your memories or your wonderful childhood or this wonderful feeling that you had of this or that. Like that'll just last with you forever. Even if you like the concept of memory, as far as we know so far, is that even when you're remembering something, you're just remembering a memory of something. So you're not remembering the exact memory. It's just kind of getting diluted every time you remember it, as far as I remember or know at this time. In my understanding of memory, again, not a medical expert, just person hearing things, piecing things together potentially. And it's just kind of interesting. And we also kind of like hold this idea, especially with social media in the past, that the past was this, oh, the sky's the limit, everything's open. And now that we have this constant connection to the internet, this constant, like, just anytime, anywhere, all the time, everything happening all at once, it doesn't make it special anymore necessarily. And some people that, like me, that grew up without social media until I was a teenager or whatnot, didn't really have this. We had like the connection of, oh, this is the internet, but you have to use dial-up, and dial-up is that like you had to you couldn't use the phone at the same time you were on the internet, just for example. Like it was very you can't use it all of the time, and that made it special. And whereas now it's just constant, and I'm wondering with the younger generation as well, where they just kind of are used to having it all the time. I'm wondering what their concept of reality and time is for them, and what the golden age was for them as well. Because for me, I have a hard time getting into any new shows. It's really hard because it's you have to have the streaming service to have it. It's I'm not gonna buy a streaming service just to watch one show. I'm just not gonna do that. That's just not what I'm gonna do. Let me say that 10 times the same exact way. But when I was younger, you could just go to the movie store and there's just everything. Just imagine, for younger people, imagine it there was one streaming service, but it was all physical copies, and you could get video games, and you could get DVDs, and you could get VHS for my homies in the back in the 90s there. And it was just all there. It was all there. Disney, the 20th Century Fox, this crappy indie film, great indie film, everything. Everything's there. All of it. Everything. And you could just go through, take your time leisurely, buy some candy from the stand, too expensive candy for what it is at the time, and just get what you, just look through all the stuff and figure out what you wanted, and get a movie from each genre if you wanted to. And you would pick out movies with your friends, and you pick out movies with your family members, and then you would go to school and you would talk about the movies that you rented and what movies were great and what video games were great. And you could rent video games so you could know if you liked them before you purchased them. And you could like infinitely try different things and not have to worry about this weird return system. I mean, you still had to physically return them into a box. Like you brought them back and you put them in a little box and you're like, okay, bye. But it was different and it felt special because it was just like, I picked this thing out. I didn't sit there like this, like it was different, you know, like you had conversations, there was stuff built around this, and you just don't really have that anymore. And I don't have social media. Like what I have is like Discord, and I have YouTube with comments turned off. Like I do like no social media. I killed it all. I was just like, bye, out of my life, no more, thank you. So I just abandoned accounts, closed accounts if I could, just not having it anymore. And I've never been happier. I think it made me very, very unhappy. And it's concerning for me with younger generations as well, because it's just like, that's all they know. And it's like this idea, the identity of something that they can't tangibly touch, but they're trying to achieve is a little scary to me. Like they don't really always see reality, and there's filters and there's this and there's that. And I don't know. I think it's very unhealthy to literally just be like, unplug, you know, just unplug every once in a while. And maybe even track like how much you're doing. Because it's like, even myself, I was shocked when I started tracking how much I was watching YouTube videos endlessly, playing a video game here or there. Like I spent a lot more on screens than I was even thinking. I'm the person that has my phone in the corner in my backpack, just not even touching it. Like I'm not looking at that thing. Like I look at it twice a day, maybe. Like twice is a lot in a day for me to look at my phone. So, and I still feel the engagement, have to look at the thing without social media and just being on the internet, and like it's just there. It's just built to keep you engaged. So if you like limit your time, even if you're like an adult, like I'm not even just talking like, hey, like take a moment away from technology. Go to more third places. A third place is a place that isn't like your home, but isn't also technology based. It's like a real place, like a park. Just like go somewhere and just exist for a minute. And like see how much better you feel. It might be a little like weird at first. Like you might feel like oh, I need to check something, and you look at something. Turn off your notifications on your phone. Like it can wait for you. Like the biggest takeaway I want to like get from this is like your phone and the internet will be there forever. I could take a picture of myself here right now and leave it on my phone, and it'll be the exact same picture it was 1,000 years from now. But this moment right here, like this tangible, real, this thing right here, this is just now, you know, guys. Like this is just what we have now. Like, so enjoy the now, because this box is forever. So enjoy what you can enjoy that isn't forever, I guess, if that makes sense. Well, you still can, because I guess maybe if the apocalypse happens, we'll be stuck in basements somewhere in the near future and just have to look at square boxes for the rest of our lives anyways. That's a joke, but you know, get my point. Well, be kind to each other, have a lovely day, and I'll see you around, I suppose. Bye.